Hi Pisces, welcome to July. In this video I'm going to talk about the transits in July. We have an important month ahead of us, so let's see. On the very first day of July, well technically on June 30th, we have the conjunction of the Sun and Mercury on the 8th degree of Cancer. So for Pisces, that is your 5th house. And what is 5th house? 5th house is the house of creativity, hobbies, leisure, children, okay, the way we express ourselves, where we feel warm, where we feel generous, okay. So that house, and the conjunction of Sun and Mercury means that you will have some sort of understanding, because the Sun illuminates and Mercury is our thoughts. So you will come to some sort of understanding regarding your creativity, hobbies, your children, okay, for those Pisces who have children. So yeah, and what else? So that theme, the house of creativity and stuff, is gonna be active still on July 3rd, because the Sun will oppose the Moon in your 11th house at the full moon on the 11th degree of Capricorn. So yeah, romance and friends, children, friends, your values, ideals, wishes, those themes are illuminated by the luminaries in your 5th and 11th houses. Now, the good thing about this full moon is that it's not badly aspected. It makes a trine to Neptune, your ruler. It makes a trine to Jupiter in Taurus and a sextile to Saturn. And remember, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so when the ruling planet makes a positive aspect, it is like extra good. So Saturn will bring stability. Our emotions shouldn't be like up and down. It should be like more stable, okay? Remember the full moon that we had in Sagittarius in June? That one was intense, because there were 2 T-squares, not one, but 2 T-squares in the sky on that day. And T-squares are intense. So people were moody, on the edge, irritable, overly sensitive, emotional, okay, on that full moon. Yeah, when the full moon is harshly aspected, it feels that way. But this time in July, the Capricorn full moon is well aspected, so it's not going to be that bad. I mean, yes, we're still going to be emotional, because full moons make us emotional. Think of it like this way: the sea tides. So when there's full moon, we have high tides. There's lots of water at the beach. And since we are 80% water, we're also like full of water. Yeah, but at this full moon, it's gonna be more like positive emotions. Imagine feeling really happy, like when you're in a good company and you're feeling positive emotions, and your cup is like full. So yeah, and this full moon occurs right before the July 4th, so maybe you will be celebrating with your friends, drinking, having a good time, and you're feeling joyful feelings. Yeah, I think it's gonna manifest in that way. And full moons generally bring some sort of like minor culminations, fruition. You can expect some project maybe to come to a fruition, maybe some news, well, not news, like decision maybe, yeah, some result. And the thing is, it's gonna be minor, because this is a regular full moon. The life-changing events happen on lunar eclipses, okay, very unstable times eclipses, but this full moon is normal, so you can expect minor fruitions, minor results, okay. So yeah, on July 6th, we have a mini T-square involving the moon, Venus, Mars and Uranus. Yeah, T-squares are tense, so on that day people might be a little bit moody, but a bit irritable. You yourself might feel that way as well, but the good thing is it's gonna last for only one day, so be patient with yourself and with others. The moon spends only 2.5 days in a sign, so yeah, it's gonna be it doesn't gonna last for more than a day. Next, on July 9th, we have the last quarter moon in Aries on the 17th degree of Aries. What does this mean? The reason why I'm mentioning this is because the last quarter moon starts the week before the new moon. So use that time uh, starting from July 9th until July 15th, to recharge your batteries, to wrap things up that began with the new moon in June in Gemini. Okay, so don't waste energy trying to start new projects at this time. No, it's not gonna take off the ground. I'm gonna give you an example from my own life. In May, I was having a hard time, like difficulties, and because I was in panic, in desperation, I completely forgot about the transits, and I found some project, and I packed all of my stuff. I was ready to go, but for some reason I couldn't find the means to get to that place, and so I had to delay it for a couple of days. And because of that, the other person was like, you know what, let's cancel this is taking too long. And so yeah, I ended up wasting so much energy, so much anxiety, on something that didn't happen. And so when I looked at the transits, I realized that I was like trying to start things after the last quarter moon. So yeah, don't repeat my mistake. Instead, let yourself relax, gather energy for that new moon on July 17th. So yeah, on July 10th, Mars enters Virgo until August 27th. And Virgo for Pisces, that is your 7th house. So Mars is the energizer. It's like a very active planet. It's like go, 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 like hurry up. It's that kind of planet. It's like, think of it as the engine on airplanes. It makes airplanes fly, right? Yeah, so Mars is that. And so 7th house is your relationships. So maybe you will start being active with your partner. I don't know, spending more time together, being more active together, exercising together, I don't know. Maybe arguing more with your partner because Mars is a planet of aggression and war after all. Yeah, so be careful. I mean, Mars isn't all that bad. It's just there will be more energy in your relationships. Let's just put it that way. On July 11th, Mercury enters Leo until July 28th. So that means the planet of communication is gonna spend around 3 weeks in your house of work, routine, your health, your pets. Okay, so you will be communicating more regarding your work, regarding your health. Okay, maybe you will be writing a lot, writing some report at work. So yeah, or maybe you'll be studying about some like diet, because 6th house is the house of health and Mercury is learning. Yeah, communicating. So yeah. Next, on July 17th, we have a new moon in Cancer on the 24th degree of Cancer. For Pisces, Cancer, that is your 5th house. So, excuse me, 5th house is the house of creativity, fun, hobbies, children. Yeah, so you might spend time with children, you might spend time on your, you might be able to dedicate more time to your hobby, okay? So yeah, the new moons, they are like a new page, new energy. You can expect news, decisions, announcements around the new moon. So starting from July 15th until July 19th, yeah, you can expect news, decisions around that time, some message, okay? Because in astrology, new month doesn't begin like on the 1st of every month. No, the new month begins with the new moon, new energy. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like try to experiment, like observe the people in your life. You will notice that they will be receiving news, starting new things after the new moons. Yeah, it's really fascinating. So yeah, this new moon makes an opposition to Pluto on the 29th degree of Capricorn. So that is a bit tense. But there are also helpful aspects like the trine to Neptune in Pisces in your sign, and a sextile to Uranus. So yeah, it's not completely bad. And since new moons are not that emotional, we might not feel it that much on like mood level, but in terms of like maybe events, yeah. Since again, think of that sea tide example. During new moons, the tide is very low. It's like the water is very far away from the beach. So yeah, and same thing in our bodies. Like we're not that emotional on new moons. So even though the new moon makes that opposition to Pluto, we might not be that intense. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, On the same day as the new moon, we have the North Node entering Aries. So that is your second house. For the past year and a half, North Node was going through your third house. So third house rules our neighbors, short distance travel, our siblings, the way we communicate, the way we learn. Okay, so for the past year and a half, the eclipses have been happening there. So something important must have happened in your sibling's life. Maybe you started learning something in that period. Maybe you traveled a lot. Maybe you, to cities, because third house is like big cities. Yeah. So now the focus shifts from all that stuff to your second house, and second house rules the money that you earn. Okay. So it's the house of your values, your possessions. It's a very materialistic house. It's an earth sign, Taurus's house. Okay, so it's very tangible, very physical house. Like not like physical in terms of activity, but like the things that you can touch. Yeah, it's the house of money. So for the next year and a half, now the shift, the focus is going to be on your resources, the money that you make. Maybe you will start earning money in some new way. Maybe you will have some side hustle, or maybe you will have some hobby that you will be able to monetize. Maybe your salary will increase in the next year and a half. So yeah, or maybe you will start some new business, and that will give you new income. Okay. So yeah, and now the thing about the North Node is that it takes 18 years to come back to the same sign. So the last time North Node was in your second house was in 2005 and 2006. Those of you who are old enough to remember, try to remember what happened in 2005 and 2006 for you regarding all that second house matter. So did you start earning money in that in some new way back then? So if yes, that means this time again you will find some new way of earning money. Or did your salary increase? Did you get some promotion back then? If yes, then this time again you will see an increase somehow in your earnings. So yeah, like possessions. Did you acquire something expensive back then? If yes, then this time again you will acquire something expensive, valuable, because the second house is the thing to be valued. So yeah, the eclipses will be happening here for the next year and a half. And it's good news for Pisces if you are worried like about money. So second house is money, and the North Node means like it brings expansion, opportunities. So yeah, it should be good. What else? On July 22nd, we have Venus stationing retrograde on the 28th degree of Leo. That means is your sixth house, and sixth house is your, as I said, that's your routine, your work, the things that you do every day at work. It's the house of health. It is the house of pets. Yeah, so you will be reevaluating your values regarding those matters. Maybe you will be reevaluating how you spend on your pets. I don't know, because Venus is money and sixth house is pets. Or like reevaluating how much you spend on your health. I don't know, like maybe some medicine, maybe like I don't know, you get the idea. Like finances, money, and health, and then your work. Maybe you will start reevaluating how much you charge for your services, because sixth house is also services. Yeah, Venus is a good time to reevaluate those things. And also Venus generally rules relationships. So some Pisces, maybe you have like an office romance, and you will be reevaluating that. Or maybe you will get entangled in a new romance around this period, and that's a big red flag, because Venus retrograde is not a good time to start relationships. It's not a good time. Or you might have some old lover, old co-worker, like coming back into your life and confessing that they've always liked you. Yeah, that might occur, I don't know, like for some Pisces, because Venus is love. Retrograde means returning, and sixth house is work, so maybe some co-worker will confess to you that they have always liked you. Yeah. And then for those of you who maybe had some conflict at work, now maybe it will be time to reconciliate, make peace, because Venus is retrograde, like, you know, going back to some things and resolving issues. Okay. So yeah, generally Venus retrograde is not a good time to invest, to buy new things. Okay. It's a good time to buy antiques, actually used things, because those who will be selling those things won't know the true value of the thing they are selling. Yeah. But generally I would say, like, refrain from buying new things at this time. I'm gonna make a separate video for Venus retrograde in July, so if you want to, please check that out in July. So yeah, on the same day as Venus, oh wait, no, I forgot to mention, Venus retrogrades in the same sign every 8 years. That means Venus was retrograde in your 6th house in August 2015, July and August of 2015. Try to remember what happened in your work, health matters in 2015 August. Okay, because that's when Venus was retrograding in that area of your life. So yeah, this time something similar is going to happen, but it's not going to be the same, because the outer planets will be making different aspects, so the circumstances will be different. For example, in 2015, the Venus was making a trine to Uranus, but this time it's going to be making a square to Uranus. Okay, you get the idea. So yeah, on that day, the sun, on July 22nd, the sun enters Leo. So again, work matters, health matters, those things are illuminated. I mean, the sun transits through your 6th house every year from July 22nd until August 22nd. So yeah, it will be barely perceptible. But there will be that conjunction of the sun and Venus, but that's going to be in August. I'm going to talk more about that in August. Next, on July 23rd, Chiron will turn retrograde on the 19th degree of Aries. Chiron has been in your 2nd house for a couple of years now, and Chiron is known as like the wounded healer. So everything like 2nd house matters related, like your spending, your earnings, your values, self-esteem, those things have been up for like healing. Chiron kind of opens up the wound in order to heal it properly. Yeah, so you've been dealing with that, whether you notice that or not, for the past couple of years. And so on July 23rd, Chiron will start turning retrograde. But you know, because Chiron is far away from the sun, we barely feel it. Its influence is very subtle. So Pisces, you are not going to feel it unless you have planets or points around the 19th degree of Aries. So for some Pisces, you might have Venus around the 19th degree of Aries, or maybe your rising sign or your moon sign or Mercury. Then yes, you are definitely going to feel like the retrograde, because Chiron is something painful. You might realize that there's some healing that you need to do regarding the planets matters. Like if it's Venus, maybe in your relationships some painful stuff will be kind of brought to your attention, and now you have to like heal that. Okay, so yeah. And then on July 28th, Mercury enters Virgo until October 4th. So it's in your 7th house for an extended stay. Yeah, relationship house. So yeah, you will be communicating with your partner about your partnerships, about your relationships a lot, because Mercury is going to go retrograde in your relationship house in August. I'm going to talk more about that in August, but anyway, so yeah. And remember, Venus is retrograding in August, so I'm assuming you will be talking about your relationships a lot in August. Okay, so this is pretty much it for July. As I said at the very beginning, you have that conjunction of Sun and Mercury in your 5th house. So some realization about your hobbies, some news maybe about your hobbies, your children, your creativity. So yeah. And then on July 3rd, we have that favorable full moon. It can be a good time to celebrate, get together with people and party, because this is not a badly aspected full moon. And then on July 17th we have a new moon in your 5th house in Cancer, so you can expect some news, decisions, announcements, some minor stuff around that date, around July 17th. Yeah, if you want to start anything, you can start after that date, after July 17th. You have the green light for that. Next, Venus will turn retrograde on July 22nd in your 6th house. So you will be reevaluating stuff regarding your work, your health, your routine, your pets, okay? Maybe the way you spend on those matters, or the way you will be reevaluating how much you charge for your services. Yeah. And at the very end of July you have Mercury entering your relationship house, so you will be talking more about your relationships, maybe discussing stuff with your partner more, okay? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in August, okay? I wish you a pleasant July, and bye.